Hi guys, so this month's movement practice is around the heart and the chest, and this is to connect into obviously the heart and its energy and how we tend to express that with giving to others through our arms and actions, and how we also take and receive is the word I find a little easier to connect into when it comes to heart work. So when we get stiff through the hands, through the arms, through the chest and the upper back, there's some restriction in our heart, whether it's through the giving or it's through the receiving. And we want to make sure that everything's moving really nice and fluidly, but it's also strong. So we're holding healthy boundaries of our own self-love and self-care. Just so you know, you can do any of these exercises seated on a chair or standing, anywhere that feels comfortable for this part. So this one's going to start with some finger exercises, and super simple. You're just going to make like little ring fingers with each finger, and you're going to flick the finger away. So we're just starting with a little bit of strength and mobility through the fingers. Going your own time, just waking up that connection. It's also, you know, that key thing of the opposable thumb being from our monkey inheritance of what makes us so special and unique. And as we just flick, you can go as fast or as slow as you want, just waking up those hands. And then we're going to do the last set and shake out the hands. Okay, from here, we're going to interlace the fingers and just gently pull the arms apart, just trying to create a bit of space in the wrist, but also a little bit of strength through the arms. So there's a little bit of tension. We're starting to build up, wake up, drop the shoulders down, have the elbows out, start to just open the head and the neck, let it be nice and light, and then release those hands again. Okay, from here, take your hands into a prayer position. Really try and lift the elbows, feel that little bit of a stretch maybe through the forearms. You're then going to take your fingertips forwards, and you're going to stretch them forwards, peel the palms and the fingertips away from each other, so you're flexed at the wrist, and this is quite a strong stretch for some. And then we're going to keep that flex in the wrist as we reach the arms back behind, squeeze the shoulders, and then come back and forwards, and hands come back in, and reaching forwards, peel the palms, opening out, reaching like you're trying to touch fingertips at the back, come forwards and in. Now I'm just going to turn side on so you can see. So we're going forwards and back, trying not to arch my back. I'm trying to keep my back still, just work through the shoulders, so that what's happening is the back of the shoulder girdle has to retract a little bit in order to bring those hands back. Okay, one more time. Okay, from here we take the arms out wide, palms face down. You're going to slice through the air and then palms up. So now what we're doing is a bit like a figure of 8 with the arms, just letting them be kind of loose and easy, whatever range is good and comfortable. You can go down and you can go upwards, but really we're looking to just move through this shoulder girdle, loosen up the shoulders, letting it move nice and easy. And then we're going to come into something that I call the wine glass exercise. Now, it's a little tricky to get your head around to start with, but you're going to all be fine. So imagine you've got a wine glass, or if you prefer something else to drink, on each palm. You don't want to ever drop this drink and this glass in your hand, or if you can, even spill a drop. What we're going to do is we start with the hands out like this. Again, palms are flexed. You're then going to take the palms in. They want to try and come underneath the armpits, so you've got to lift your elbows up. Take the hands behind your back, reaching behind. At this point, the back can round a little bit. You're then going to circle the arms around the front, trying to keep those palms up towards the sky, losing a little bit of wine, and then the hands come out wide to the side, in, under, and you present forwards and lift. Hands come in, elbows come up, reach back, round to the side and forwards. They come back wide, circle in, and reach forwards and up. So from the side, so you can see my spine, I'm taking the elbows in, around in neutral. As I come forwards, I round, scoop the belly in. And allow the hands to come in, return to neutral, and then reach and lift. Little back bend. Okay. In they come and back. Come forwards like you're receiving something. And then in and give and serve. Elbows in and up. Palms back, around, scoop the belly. In and present. We'll do it one more time. Hands come in, arms around. Out they come to the side and present it forwards. Let your arms just drop down, have a little shake with those shoulders. What we're going to do next is a kneeling exercise. So onto your hands and knees. And we're going to just think a little bit more about those hands and how they interact with the world. Now, often when we come onto hands and knees, there's a bit of a collapsing that kind of happens, and there's a lot of pain in the wrists or the shoulders or the elbows. And if we kind of collapse, there's a sense that we're probably collapsing a little bit in other ways in our life. We want to be energized, strong, holding our self-care. And that requires pushing the body slightly away from the floor. And we're going to practice that by coming onto the fingertips. So I'm quite well known for my love of fingertip push-ups, so that's what we're kind of coming towards. The first step is just to be able to hold yourself on your fingertips and then shift your shoulders over those fingertips. Keep the core drawing in, so we're not collapsing the back. We want to keep that back nice and strong. Then, if it feels okay, you're going to bend those elbows and straighten them. If it feels absolutely fine, you can go for a full push up. You're going for 5 of whatever is your level. It might be that you're just holding for my count and not doing anything else, and that's great. Just make sure that you're going right over those fingertips, and then you get to sit back and shake out those fingertips. So we're just trying to get them nice and strong and active. So when you're giving to people in life, you're giving from a place of strength. You're giving from where you know you support and can hold your self-care. And then when you take, you're taking what is just the right that you need and no more. So we're not being greedy in what we take by kind of, take with gratitude and just what we need. So we're going to use that now for our cat-cow stretches. So coming onto the hands and knees. And as you do this, push into those fingertips, lift out to the heel of the palm. Inhale, draw the heart forwards, keeping the shoulders nice and still, thinking about drawing the breastbone forwards. And then drawing that back of the chest up to the ceiling as you exhale. You may find you naturally want to inhale as you come into that back bend, and then you exhale as you round the back up to the sky. Keep pressing your way into the fingertips to really help you find all the muscles in your hands, lifting out the heel of the palm. Inner elbows, they look and smile at each other. It's hard for me, I have those bendy elbows. It's a lot of work if you're hypermobile just to hold those elbows looking at each other. And then underneath those armpits, here where we're ticklish, serratus, keep it a little bit squeezing down. So we don't want our shoulders up here, keep them down. Rounding and lifting. And moving through. You can feel free to add in any kind of freestyle you want with your cats. You could move your body in some bigger circles, but just really trying to work this strong connection whilst mobilizing and moving that part of the spine. And then coming into a little bit more with that part of the spine, we're going to come to standing. So now that we're standing, we're just going to do a couple more exercises for that upper body, and then we're finished with some breathing. So you can take your legs out nice and wide, wider than your hips, and have the knees slightly soft. We're going to take our hands behind our head and interlace our fingers, keeping the head gently pressing back into the hands. So we're keeping good thoracic and cervical placement, and that's going to really help keep the heart center of the body. And then we're just going to begin nice and simple, elbow dropping down, Inhaling up and other side. So you can go super slow and you can go as fast as you want. Your rhythm is your choice. What you want to be doing is keeping yourself nice and flat, like you're a piece of bread in a toaster, and you're not going to burn your elbows or your shoulders. Really lift the elbow up towards the ceiling, that's lifting, and try and keep your hips nice and still. We're just really trying to open into the side of the ribs. So it may be that for you, this is a place where you stay, and you just stay here and you practice breathing. And what can really help is that you reach the arm longer and start to stretch those arms out. Taking a bigger breath into this side of the armpit, maybe down into the ribs. Just opening out the side of our ribs. Because if we think that the back of the body is our past, we dig in our heels and we want to stay put. And our balls of our feet are the future. So if we're always on the balls of our feet, we're tipping into the future. We want to be centered. So if the back of the body is the past, the front of the body is the future, the sides of the body must be our present. So we want to open those sides to stay nice and present, to bring our heart into the present moment and be heart full when we're with people and with our actions from our heart. So breathing and opening into those side ribs. Okay, bringing the hands back behind the head. We're just going to take some easy twists. Now again, try to keep the hips nice and still. Go at your speed. I'm in the mood to go a little faster right now. I'm going a little faster. But you're more than welcome to stop and hold. And hold. A little clue here is that you can look towards the back elbow. And the more you look, the more you take your eyes, the more you're going to start to get that twist through the neck and down into this upper thoracic. And that's going to help with this desire to be here. It's going to start to lift you up. If those shoulders are hurting, put your hands on your shoulders and do this movement with your hands on your shoulders. But again, keep that weight of the low body nice and still. We're just trying to isolate this upper body, okay? We're then going to come back to center, pop your hands onto your hips, and we're just going to try and isolate now side to side with those ribs. So this is a great exercise for starting to build in some waist trimming because your abs all insert in these ribs, right? So this is the beginning of your core. So we're connecting up from doing our core work earlier last month. And we're wanting to use these core muscles to help us stay centered in our self-care so that when we are giving and when we're receiving, it's from only what we need and what we can manage. We're not overextending ourselves and we're not overtaking. So side to side, you can have your arms out to the side and you can reach to touch the sides of the room. But please note, I am using my ribs and not my hips. Beautiful. From here, hands come back to those hips and we're just going to take some circles with the torso. Circling the torso. We'll do one more this way. And then we'll go the other way. And if you can introduce the back bend looking up to the ceiling as you circle. Looking down to the floor. So again, from the sides, we've got this full movement happening. Try to keep the hips nice and still. Upper back is working. We'll do one more circle. And then come back to center. You're going to take your hands, fingers are going to be up into your low back. Try and squeeze your elbows back. So a bit like earlier on when we were taking those hands back, we're squeezing those shoulders back. Try to think about keeping the belly pulling in, squeezing the elbows back, and then look up to the ceiling and just try and draw from your breastbone up towards the sky, a little lift. If your chin is uncomfortable, make a little double chin so it doesn't overwork the neck, but really try and lift from the top of the heart. Drawing your tail down long, drawing the belly in and up. Squeeze the shoulders together. And then release the elbows. Release those arms, give them a little shake. And then our breathing exercise to go with this practice is just going to be lion's breath. So starting to open out what comes out of the heart. It very much connects with the throat aspect of this practice, of trying to lift up and out, heart speaking. And that lion's breath is going to be sticking your tongue out and roaring like you're a lion. Now, I have some people who love this one and really get into their roaring. You can look up to your third eye if you'd like to as you do this practice, to really help you with connecting into that lifting of your voice. We're going to do it 5 times, 5 roars. So take a nice big inhale, stick your tongue out and exhale. Last one. Bring your hands to your heart. Let them rest on your heart. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable. See if you can feel either the breath around the heart, or maybe even the beat of your heart and pulse in your body. Good work, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Let me know any feedback about the moves for this month around this opening of the heart and the chest. And I look forward to you next month, where we're going to be doing a bit more full body integration. Now that we are going to be adding in the head to the tail, we're going to have the whole of the spine. So we're going to be looking at the full of all of who we are as we move. That's a love.